Post-traumatic stress disorder is caused by traumatic events, and its discovery is rooted in one of the most traumatic events in history: war. During the Civil War, many soldiers got what we would call PTSD. Now, back then, they didn't call it that. It would often be called soldier's heart. Treatment was limited, and often no real help would be provided, and in worst cases, they were put in asylums. When the war was over, we just went back home. There wasn't anyone to talk to, no one who could help. They just expected us to go back to our normal lives. Some of us could, but it wasn't normal. Not after that. During World War I, it was called shell shock. Some soldiers would receive treatment, sometimes helpful and sometimes not. Others would just be sent back to the front lines. Either way, there was at least some attempt to help, although it was often harsh treatment.
Whenever I tried to talk about the war and its effects on me, other people wouldn't listen. They acted as if it was my fault, as if it was my problem. They never really understood why I couldn't just move on. None of them seemed to see what we saw on those front lines. We were fighting the future, not anyone but that. Then why? Why do they blame me for this? I can't just move on.
During World War II, it was called battle fatigue or combat stress. Many of the treatments were the same as before, with some developments. Many soldiers never asked for help as they didn't want to be called mentally ill.
I never told anyone about my trouble with war. I didn't want to be ridiculed and called weak. Some of my friends ended up talking about everything. Some of them got help that worked. Some of them just got called ill. I won't risk that.
The Vietnam War was the tipping point. The amount of people affected after the war led to the creation of the diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. Over time, treatment methods have developed and still are to help those suffering from PTSD. Research has shown that it doesn't just happen to war veterans, but others who go through traumatic situations.
At the airline I work for, I work on a team called the Critical Incident Stress Team. And what we do is we work with pilots and flight attendants and other employees that are affected by an aircraft incident. Not always a big crash like you see on TV, but daily incidents that happen, maybe emergency landings, medical emergencies on board the airplane. And what our objective is to treat what's called the acute stress disorder so that it doesn't manifest into PTSD. Over the years, PTSD has been a very successful treatment, but what we try to do is we try to get in there before PTSD sets in, so we treat what's called acute stress reaction.
Today, people no longer need to hide their feelings or be afraid of getting help. There are many methods for treating PTSD. Early intervention, therapy, medication, and other treatment models have been proven to help someone struggling after a traumatic event.